Hey, hi, hello, and welcome back to the Goat Force Gaming channel where we play the roguelikes and the roguelites and hopefully add some awesome games to your backlog. This is what we try to do every time. And I'll tell you what, I think we do a pretty fair job of that most days. In fact, better than fair, I'd say good. Good, if not great. How about that? I'll tell you what, if you like rogues, you're in the right place. That's what we play here exclusively. And I'm glad you're here with us. I am here with a game called Time Survivors. And this is a game that was recommended to me by one of you. Wes Mealer showed up in the comments the other day and said, "Hey Goat, can you give Time Survivors a try? It's a little difficult, but can you give it a shot? Would love to see it." I said, yeah, you know what? It's actually been on my list to get to for a minute. I think at one point in time, another one of our community members, Getter7, had reached out on the Twitters, just like you can, and said, "Hey Goat, you know, you probably want to check this one out." And so I said, you know what? Yeah, I'd like to give this a shout. I feel like we're going into heavy bullet heaven season, if there was such a thing, you know? It just feels like there's a ton of them coming out. Lately, we're seeing a little bit of a pivot happen as well, where some of these games that were previously released are getting out there and using the assets that they have and the audio that they have from the previous game they built, and they're using those to create a bullet heaven. So that's interesting as well. And so, you know, who knows? Maybe we'll see an influx of these games, but, you know, Project Lazarus has just rolled out Season 2. Army of Ruin has just rolled out what looks to be a pretty beefy update. And you know I'm here for the beef, right? So I feel like we might be seeing a lot of these games, and that brings me joy, because if you've hung out here before, you probably know by now the Goat really enjoys solid bullet heaven games. And there's a lot of great ones out there. So, in the context of Time Survivors being a little bit more difficult, I think Wes Mealer was right on. Right on. It is more difficult. When I loaded it up for the first time, it reminded me of Scarlet Tower, because that's a harder bullet heaven game as well. Let's go with one additional ammo on the slingshot here, and then we'll continue building up the arsenal. But this is basic standard fare as far as bullet heaven games go. You know, we're trying to survive for a certain period of time and kill as many rats and giant white rats as we can without getting dead. So that's what we're going to try to do here. I think we're going to go with the gem catcher as well. Try and draw in these level up cubes a little bit more efficiently. So we're going to have a run or two in Time Survivors today. We'll see how we do. See if we can go grab that treasure box that just dropped. Let's do another level in the boomerang. And we're going to get into some talk about a new crazy thing that's happening with AI. And who knows? Maybe we'll get into some other discussion from there. Spawning off of that topic. You know, because I'll tell you what, the GOAT can drone on about some crazy AI stuff. It's happened before. But before we get into all of that, if you are new here, thanks for being here. If you're not new here, thanks for being here. Really appreciate your support. It has been wonderful lately. If you are new, we'd love to earn the right to your subscription. For 2023, we are giving away a roguelike or a roguelite once a week, every week this year, and hopefully in perpetuity, as long as this channel's going. I love doing giveaways. Last week we did a giveaway of Spellbook Demon Slayers. This week I think we'll probably do a giveaway for Tiny Rose. I'm gonna jump into that again and see if we can have a victory. Hey, speaking of victories, look at what's about to happen. How about that? All right, bigger shots, bigger impact, bigger destruction, weapon size boost, +10, or an extra boomerang. Man, that's kind of pulling on my heartstrings a little bit. Let's see what this is. I opened this up last time, and it looks like we're gonna get a level up to the sling as well, which is fantastic. All right, see how much longer I can keep this run going. I think we do need to try and find some boosts to our health overall, which these buckets might help with that. There we go. If we could find another apple, that'd be even better. Let's put another in the weapon size. All right. Well, the magnesis boost is definitely helping here. Okay. So, let's get into it, shall we? AI. What a time. What a time to watch the computers do things on their own, isn't it? So you might have heard of this, maybe you haven't. A lot of the folks that I talked with about this had not heard of it yet. There is a new sensation out there that you can literally watch all day long, 7 days a week. It doesn't stop because it doesn't have to. This is a new AI-created, animated, I struggle with calling this a show, but I'm gonna call it a show. This is something called Nothing Forever. Have you heard of Nothing Forever? Nothing Forever is a takeoff, an AI takeoff on Seinfeld. And it is created completely by AI. And so I checked this thing out the other day because, you know what, there was a point in time where I enjoyed the get-togethers with Kramer and Jerry and George and Elaine. And so that's what we have on offer here. But they're created by AI, and the animation itself, I believe, is also being created on the fly by this visual and conversational AI. Maybe it's multiple AIs at work. I didn't pull the white paper and look through that. But it is weird, and at times it's funny. At times it's broken. So a segment can last, you know, a minute and a half or so. You're getting the typical, how would you describe that sound? Maybe finger snapping, you know, the starting music. And the camera is focused on an animated apartment complex. And then you go up to Jerry's apartment, only Jerry is Larry, because, you know, of course, people don't want to get sued. And it is the gang getting together, talking about nothing. There's a laugh track. And so you usually see the apartment setting, and then from there, it goes into the segment where, you know, Jerry is speaking at the microphone, doing stand-up. Just like the real thing. And in one of them that I was watching, Jerry was a no-show for his own show. It was an empty podium, and we just watched the microphone. Now, I was not logged into Twitch when I was viewing this, and so I could not figure out how to pop, you know, how many people were watching at the time. But what I can say is that I could not keep up with the chat. So I have to imagine that this room was packed. Ooh, nice. Good timing on the magnet. Let's go with the ice orb again. We'll put another one into the ice orb. And perhaps another into the ice orb. This will give us another rotatey on the ice orb, so let's do that. We'll go with the gem catcher. Again, wow. We left a ton of orbs out there. All right, what happened to our ice orb? We need it right now. We're at a point where they're really only going to award us with gold. I still want to know where our ice orb went. Oh, there it is. Okay. I was getting very concerned for a moment there. It isn't firing off very frequently. I think the game is fighting back. We've gotten too strong. It's sick of our nonsense. Okay. Look at how angry those men are. It's fun, isn't it? So here's what we're gonna do. We unlocked Abe, who, boy, looks a lot like another Abe that I'm familiar with. You probably are too. Let's take a look at what we can do here. So we've got 2,000. I wouldn't mind unlocking Abe. Let's put a point in move speed, because that became a little bit of an issue. And then let's see if we can unlock Abe here. Okay, so I think we've got to go here. He's 1,000. He starts with the Morningstar, so let's buy Abe. Oh, honest Abe, honest leader, armed with speeches and determination, a president with a flail. Okay, I mean, they're really leaning into it. I like gold Abe. Where's the cherry tree? All right. Well, let's see how we do here. We'll go another run. So let us know in the comments if you've watched any Nothing Forever. Speed Bolt, faster weapons, faster kills, weapon speed boost +8. I think I'd rather go weapon right now. I find that the boomerang is pretty helpful, especially when you can add ammo to it. So if we can find the steel balls and we start adding to our overall volume of weapons flying on the screen, that could be pretty helpful. Let's do the ammo +1. And and we'll start heading in that direction of kind of creating our own circle of protection in that way. I think the sling makes sense because it's going to shoot at the close enemies. All right, perfect. Here come the skellies. I think what still blows me away and also scares me the most about all this stuff happening with AI is the sheer volume of people out there that have not heard of this thing. And if they haven't, I totally understand. You know, I don't know that this is something that I would go searching out if I didn't have a natural burning curiosity towards it. But, you know, I talked to a buddy of mine that's out in Wyoming, where they get a lot of snow. And I said, hey, have you heard of this ChatGPT thing? He said, no, what is ChatGPT? And I said, well, you know what? I kind of figured you weren't going to know what it is. I'll tell you what it is. I said, you get a lot of snow out there, right? He said, yeah. I said, let's tell you this way. And so I loaded it up and I said, hey, write me 10 humorous headlines for a news story about the heavy snowfall in Wyoming. And we got Snowmageddon. We got Snowhere to Go. You know, because when it snows heavily, you got Snowhere to Go. Coming from a writing background myself, it's what I went to school for. Didn't end up in that career path, but did some schooling on it. It blows me away how good some of this stuff is. And as you can imagine, when I read these to him, they blew his hair back a little bit, because of course they did, you know? I don't know. I can say that there are people that I've talked to about this that are in the know. They're familiar with it, they've looked it up, they've tried it themselves, and, you know, I can think of folks that said, wow, you know, this thing is cool. Really, really neat, you know? And I can also think of some folks that have maybe the opposite approach and have said, boy, you know, I kind of wish we could Thanos snap this from existence. Because I don't know that this is going to be good. I don't know where I stand overall. I think that this was inevitable that we got to this point, and at least at this point in time, trying to stop it, in my opinion, is like standing in front of a freight train. It's here to stay, and it's really only going to get bigger and more expansive. I heard that ChatGPT specifically is getting ready to roll out a app version of the service. I also heard that they already had 200 million users, so, you know, just think of how that is going to proliferate once they release the app version. And, you know, then people can just, oh, I'm gonna get this on my phone, right? Yeah, because you remember those guys out at Blizzard, everybody has a cell phone, right? Remember when Blizzard said that? That didn't go over too well for those guys, did it? So, I haven't quite made up my mind about it. But I do want to continue to be able to speak intelligently about it, whether it's for this audience or colleagues, friends, family. I do think there's going to be some very interesting discourse to have in the coming weeks, months, years as this stuff continues to evolve. And look, you know, we talked about nothing forever, right? Some of you are going to go search up Nothing Forever. You're going to look at it and you're going to go, oh, come on. Who's going to watch this? It's pixelated nonsense. Okay. You know, I get it. I'm with you. But I think the bigger question that's on my mind is, what does this look like in a week? What does it look like in a month? What does it look and sound like in a year? And how many tens or hundreds more of these AI shows do we have out there? Does it get to a point where you turn on Fox and one of these shows is on? Does this go mainstream at some point? Somebody make an actual show out of this that, I don't know, perhaps companies would be interested in airing ads or, you know, doing some kind of ad placement. Does this go mainstream? I don't know. But I think it's certainly not outside of the question to think that such a thing could be possible, right? Let's put it in. Ooh, you know what? Now that could be pretty interesting as well. I guess let's go spinach. Spinach out for Popeye, right? All right. Ooh. Nice little magnet action there. Let's go telescope again. I really like what it's doing to the Morningstar. It's quite effective, especially with the knockback. But if the game will allow us to continue putting in spinach and telescope, I'll just keep bouncing back and forth between those. Perfect. We'll go telescope. Look at the size of those boomerangs. Yeah, these guys are just getting walloped around. That's tremendous. All right, next time we'll go telescope if we can. Perfect. Oh, look at this. Ooh. Mega attack mode. I can't remember what we did last time. Probably did telescope. Judging by the level. Speaking of, we are level 32. And we're gonna go spinach. Slingshot rocks are gigantic as well. Alright, we might be full up as far as upgrades go at this point. We'll have to see. Oh, this is great. We're able to take these big thick boys out pretty well also. Whoa. I don't remember seeing him in the past. That almost looks like Cerberus. Oh, it was. I think it was. It looked like 3 heads, didn't it? For the moment. We saw it? At least I only saw it for a moment. All right, you know, we're just gonna walk right into these guys. This is working. Wow. Okay, so that's gonna do it for upgrades. If you watch closely, when we upgrade, you'll see the 100 pop up on us in yellow, and it's just straight gold at this point. Quick sip of water opportunity there. Actually recording this on a Friday in the afternoon. I'm gonna be on Indie Gamers podcast in a little bit here, and I'm gonna be brewing up a cup of coffee, but I'm starting with just some good old quality H2O before I go and get good and caffeinated again. Indy invited me on so that I could come on the show and talk about Noida for 3 hours. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. He didn't do that, but that's what's going to happen. He doesn't know that yet. It should be a lively show. Say, hi, I am the GOAT. I am here to talk to you about the Noidas. Oh, man. Folks might not find that funny, but I will. Anyway, we'll have a great time. We'll have a really nice cup of coffee. I did break into the new stuff. I've got a box of coffee with 3 different bags in it that I got for Christmas. And it's a brewer called La Colombe. And the flavor notes of this coffee, the coffee is called RIP. It's a purple box. It's got a skeleton on it. And we've got notes of blackberry happening. Blackberry jam. Now, there were 2 other flavors along with it that I didn't commit to memory, because blackberry jam jammed all the frequencies in my brain, because that's how excited I am about the blackberry component. So anyway, I'm going to be brewing that up because I'm elated to be on Indy's show, and I want to have a special cup with me. Should be a great chat. I'll post a link to the show in the description in case you weren't able to join live and you'd like to hear some banter. Should be fun. It usually is. Boy, somebody's really unhappy. You hear that growling? This guy's got to go down, drop that chest. There it is. Excellent. That money's gonna work really well for us. Take that all into the meta progression. Who knows? Maybe there'll be another character unlocked, but quite honestly, Abe's working out super well. Alright, so we've hit the 13-minute mark, and the buzzards have apparently been called in to action. And they look like big, huge jerks, so we're gonna do everything we can to stay away from them, because I'll tell you, the other thing is we're running out of health fast. My goodness, I didn't even realize that. Let's see if we can find some golden delicious apples here. At least that's what they look like to me. Okay, here we go. Well, that's gold. There's an apple. Okay. I need another couple, 2, 3 apples, though. One's not gonna do it. Oh! Right in the schnoz, and they're all coming in for a piece now. Okay. So, no unlock, that's okay. We unlocked quite a bit of gold to the tune of about 7,000 there. So let's see what we can do for next time. Well, I'd probably get some strength. I would definitely go cool down. Get that weapon usage up. I'm not sure what blessing does. I would imagine it's kind of like luck. I guess it works that way. Move speed is always helpful. Let's go with this. Maybe that governs how often a chest drops. And maybe the random nature of choices that you get in power-ups. So anyway, that's going to do it for this one. Folks, this is a game called Time Survivors. I think it's fun. There is a demo available right now, and this is going to be out sometime in the first quarter of 2023. So keep your eyes and your ears open for this one. I will include a link in the description so that you can go directly to it. And I want to shout out Wes Mealer again for the suggestion to play this one. It was definitely on my list, but you know what? Like most of you, and I know I don't help with this. I know I add games to your list, but like most of you, I have a list too, and I credit Wes for knocking this one up a few levels and having me get to it that much faster. So thank you. And thank you to everybody that hung out. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And I'll tell you what, we'll see you next time out on the Goat Force Gaming channel, where we will play a roguelike or a roguelite. And you know what? We'll give away a game once a week too, because you are allowing me to do that with all this excellent support. So thanks again so much. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time out on the Goat Force Gaming channel. Take care.